My journey actually started about 3 or 4 months before I actually came to Revitalize. Is I went to my doctor and I was having super sleep problems. I was snoring real bad. I was waking up gasping for air, and realized after doing some research that I had severe sleep apnea. And I went to the doctor and he did some testing and they put me on a CPAP machine. Said, yep, you have sleep apnea. And because I literally felt like I was dying inside. I felt so bad I couldn't drive without wanting to fall asleep. And I went to the doctor and said, this is a major problem. And the CPAP fixed, I started sleeping, and about 3 or 4 months later, I went to him for just a regular physical exam, and he checked up on my sleep habits, and my blood tests all came back very good, except I was on medication for blood pressure medicine. I was on medication for cholesterol, and I said, hey, I'm biking, I'm going to the gym occasionally. I was like, and my blood work's good, but I'm still overweight, and I was like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of feeling, lethargic and having to use this machine and whatnot. And that's when my doctor said, he goes, yeah, well, he goes, I know a place, he said, he told me about Revitalize and told me that they would teach me how to eat better, or to reset my metabolism, or to get my body to start responding better to food, and teach me what maybe I shouldn't be eating. He goes, if you're exercising, he goes, and you're going to the gym, he goes, and yet you're still staying heavy, he goes, then you have a nutrition problem. And so he said, if you're interested, and he gave me a copy of the book, Fear No Food. And I said, yeah, I'm going to read it, but I'm actually calling Revitalize tomorrow. I won't have it read by then. And I actually called the very next day and made an appointment, and came in the very following day to talk about where I was at. Say, hey, I'm exercising, I'm going to the gym, I'm just cycling, and yet I'm heavy, and I'm tired of feeling like my knees hurt. I had numbness. I was having some pre-diabetic symptoms in my legs, and I didn't like having to use a CPAP. I mean, while it saved me from, not feeling terrible, I used it, but I wanted to come up with a solution that says, I need something more natural, something to fix the root cause of the problem. I mean, a CPAP is a Band-Aid. Medication for my blood pressure is a Band-Aid. Cholesterol medicine was a Band-Aid, and so I was masking what was the actual problem, and that was my ability to eat right, or make good choices, or reset my metabolism. That was the root cause, and that's what Revitalize did for me, is to help address some of the root cause. What drove me to be overweight was the fact that I love chorizo burritos and Mountain Dew, and coincidentally, those aren't on the list, things to eat. So some of the challenges is simply making those, committing to making those good choice changes, right? A lot of whether it be Revitalize, or a weight loss journey, or I don't care if it's a new job or an exercise program, it all starts in your head, right? It's kind of a mental commitment, because if your mind says you can or can't, you're probably right, and so I think that was the initial, was me and Mountain Dew were going to have a divorce, and I was upset about it, and because I was jonesing for a soda, and so I think the biggest challenge, initial challenge, is facing the reality of not only do I want to make physical changes, the first change had to happen in my head, and saying, if I don't commit to this, then it won't happen, and so, but in defense of Revitalize, I mean, that's the coaching, the counselors, the one phone call I can make any time of the day and say, I'm in a bad space, was helpful. Say, I'm jonesing for a soda, and someone said, hey, no problem, we have this soda called Zevia, you should go try this. They actually have a Mountain Zevia that's supposed to replicate their Mountain Dew, and it took the edge off, and so they had these little solutions that would help me overcome some of those mental, because quite frankly it's mental, until your body just kind of gets used to the new, kind of the new way of doing business, right? But Revitalize was there to help get me over those hurdles. At my cool 5'9½", don't forget the half, I was coming at 281 pounds, and so I was pretty heavy. And now, well, this morning I weighed in at 194 pounds, so I've lost 86 pounds in the last 5 months. It'll be 5 months this week, which feels great. symptoms of diabetes have gone away. I am no longer on any medications. I no longer blood pressure medicines, no more cholesterol medicines. The numbness or tingling or burning in my legs is all gone. I'm far more active and physical than I've ever been, and as a result of being able to lose that kind of weight, I'm able to perform much better. I enjoy cycling, both road and mountain. I enjoy going to the gym, and as a result now on Fridays, because I go to the gym throughout the day and it's on a treadmill, but on Fridays I actually go out and run the street. And I couldn't run 3 or 4 houses maybe, without just being, completely exhausted and feeling like I was about to fall over. And, last Friday I went out and I ran 3.5 miles without stopping and got my best times. And, so I see things happening. I'm much happier on my bike, and I'm able to do things that I've never been able to do before. Not to mention, I think, probably the only downside, which is a great downside, is, having to invest in a whole lot more clothes, which, because now I look like I had robbed a homeless man, because I had these giant 3X clothes, and now I'm down into an L. I've lost, 5 inches on my waist, and so great things have happened, because of the commitment to looking for help. Well, like I said, it's certainly, the program has spoken for itself. My experience here has been amazing, and the people have been great, and so everyone's just always willing to help, and the emails and saying, hey, things, words of encouragement. I wish I could say, yeah, everything but this, but there's just not a button here. The program clearly works. I don't feel like it's a fad diet, because I'm not eating some prepackaged food. I'm not eating something that only you sell. This program is not about starving. It's not about the silent suffering. It's about eating and eating right. And treating your food as medicine to some degree. But as you go through the different levels of the program, now that I'm in level 4, it's really, it goes back to the book of Fear No Food. It's an 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, watch what you're eating, but it is not about silent suffering. If you're jonesing for a piece of pizza, you should have one. But you should have 1 or 2 slices, not the pizza. As before, I would have a pizza and then a pizza for my family. And it's okay. But understanding that and tracking it. So I think it's just those foundational rules that Vitalize has taught me. To just be cognizant of what you put in your mouth and how much of it you put in your mouth. Everything in moderation, right? So no, the program's been amazing.